See, in the legal profession, drafting is an integral part and everything is on papers. Even our prayers are on the papers. So when you write anything, it should be in a language which should pursue the judge. You can't simply write a letter the way you write to your parents or the way you write to your friends. Now in the era of emails and the WhatsApp, we hardly write letters. But the scenario at the court has not changed at all. Till date, we are making in physical. Also, sometime in pandemic, there are petitions which were filed online, but still there is a drafting in the element which was involved. Now, in such kind of matters, always remember that whenever drafting has to be done, it has to be in a language which is a totally legal, and you can't mention few words which will offend the judge. So the language should be very respectable. If the language is not respectable, and if it is not persuading the judge, possibly your this petition or whatever application may not see even the light of the day. There is a reason behind and there is a particular format. But now with juniors, this problem always arises that where do they find this drafting? Now, though I'm coming out with the drafting book, I would say it is still an incomplete effort by me, and you have to keep on learning, though which I am also learning. Now, in drafting, the main part is the prayers. There is a possibility, facts you may know. See, facts will be different for each case. Also, there is a possibility law is same, which you will always find in law books. But where do you find the prayers? Prayers may also be you will find in some of the judgments I will share with you. I will try to share a judgment, any judgment in fact. Let me take you here. Let me share something for you which will help you. Suppose we go to a web portal which is of news, indiaqanun.com. म्यूट दिख रहा है, हाँ ठीक है, अभी आ रहा है, हाँ ठीक है, मोबाइल पे. Now can you, I will share this screen, can you see all of you? Now this is a matter of Janata Dal versus HS Chaudhary, 92. Now here if you go through this judgment, just look at this judgment. Now you want to draft draft a writ petition under Article 32. This is just an example. Now, if you find 10 judgments of this kind, you will find all the facts, all the way it is drafted, and you may have a small idea about how to draft it. Now here, see, if you see, para 10, the issue created a storm of controversies both in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Several issues were raised by the members in the respective sabhas relating not only to the alleged kickbacks, paid by the message before for winning the contract, but also about the quality. Huh? Screen नाही दिसत आहे. परिचय लॅपटॉप ने तू लॉग इन करना. परी जरा तू लॉग इन परिचय लैपटॉप नहीं कर. मैं करते हैं. अब दिख रही है स्क्रीन की नहीं दिख रही है? इज स्क्रीन दिख रही है कि नहीं? फोन में चालू करो. ऐसा तो नेट नहीं लगता. एक मिनट. ज्वाइन जूम मीटिंग आईडी बोलो. ललता आईडी बोल. अच्छी. हाँ 7108916052 552 हो. आणि 42 नहीं करायला अलाउड. एक मिनट. अरे नेट चेंज किती होतं? मैं हाँ ले लैपटॉप. Just a minute. बंद करने जा. ये लेके जाओ बाहर. ठीक है कोई बात नहीं. बाहर लेके जाओ. बंद कर. लीव कर मीटिंग. I'm really sorry for all the disturbance for today. ललिता आता दिसते मी. संदीप ठीक है. Am I audible? Thank you, Kamlesh. So if you have to draft a divorce petition, the simple way is to go any legal portal, find a judgment. See, if you have to file a case on cruelty on behalf of husband or wife, you have to find 10 judgments or 12 judgments or 15 judgments, however more judgments you can find out, and try to reading that. The simple funda of drafting, find a judgment on which section you have to file a case or petition or application. Suppose I have to file a case on the divorce petition on the ground of cruelty. The best way I would tell you is to go and find a judgment on the ground of cruelty of the last 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, and the best judgments. Suppose you are from Maharashtra, so try to find out a judgment of the Bombay High Court, Goa High Court, any bench, Aurangabad bench, Nagpur bench. But if you are unable to do that, and still you are unable to find a suppose particular judgment you cannot find, you try for another high court judgment, because the views taken will be one or the same. Also, apart from this, you can also find out few judgment of the Supreme Court. But I would say when you have to draft, you always try to find out judgments of the respective high courts, because high court judgments will govern the local law more, and they will be having the more because someday you have to file a case of Thane court. Now Thane court matters usually are taken up by the Bombay High Court. Now, whatever comes to Bombay High Court has come from Thane Court, Pune Court, or I would say Amravati Court. Now, these courts matters will govern the local laws here also. So, always take the first rule of drafting according to me, read some few judgments of the Bombay High Court. If you are in Maharashtra, if you are in the Delhi, go for some judgments of the Delhi High Courts. Don't go directly for Supreme Court. So the Bombay High Court will be covering the complete area of Maharashtra, and there will be matters which will give you a very good idea what kind of issues are taken, what facts are considered, and also how the issues are framed. Now here I would like to tell all of you that by reading judgments, what benefit you will get. First, you will get how the facts are drafted, how the section, which section is taken. There are two kinds of lawyers. When the matter goes to Bombay High Court, there will be two lawyers. One will be for petitioner, another will be for respondent. What points they have taken. So it is very important for us to find out at what points they have taken. And now you have to also find out point taken by the person who has lost the matter. The person who has lost the matter, when you go through judgment, you also see that you get another person's mistakes also you can learn. So you have to find out. Suppose it's a matter of nullity. And in nullity, what are the sections taken? Whether Section 5 of Hindu Marriage Act are also considered. What are the 5 conditions? Is Saptapadi required? As we read yesterday, is Saptapadi is also one of the requirement. Marriage जब perform होता है तो Saptapadi चाहिए. It should be before fire. So what we read yesterday, Rajasthan High Court judgment, which came later on to the Supreme Court. So what happens? So you have to find out what the judgment is saying. So the simple rule for any junior to draft is go through some judgments. You have to just go to the indiankanun.com or some other web portal which will give knowledge about these sections. Also, books are available with you, but more than books, if you are away from the books, you can always go to the internet and find out this. Now, apart from this, another rule of drafting is that your language should be very good. Now, language should be very good. I don't say that you should have a flowery language. I would say use some legal language. If you write simply that this statement is false or this is false and baseless, they may or may not agree, but always remember that if you use the tenacity of the statement, the truthfulness of the statement, if you use this good word, trust me, it's going to help you, and the judge and the opposite lawyers, opposite clients, all will get impressed. So I will always tell all of you that before drafting, simple rule I would say, kindly read some judgments on the same section, which will help you to sharpen your knowledge, hone your skills in drafting. And drafting, another very secret of the drafting that I can tell you, that always try to, if you are working with some lawyer, or if you are not even working and you're going to the court, you can always request them that let them read the file. If you ever come to my office, I will always ask you to take the file, read. Because there are drafting by other side lawyers as well. Even if you read this drafting, trust me, you're going to learn something. I will give my own example. In check bouncing matters, I used to read whatever used to come to my hands. And once my senior had gone to her native place, and there was a 138 check bouncing notice to be drafted. Actually, there were already formats with my seniors. Still, I was trying to see what more I can add. So normally, whenever a notice is sent under section 138, people normally notice under section 138, statutory notice. What I did, say notice under section 138 in bracket B. That was the definition from the act itself. That is which I found from the book, and I found in another lawyer's notice. Secondly, I also wrote in that if you fail to pay at the end of the notice, if you fail to pay the money to my client within the next 15 days, you can be prosecuted for the 2 years punishment. Now this line made an effect on the other side client, and he received the payment. So when my senior came from native place, they were like, she was telling, what did you write in the notice? She just gone through my notice, and she was so happy that you improved my notice, you wrote something good, and because of that, client was also happy. So in fact, client also praised me, my senior also praised me. So see, when I drafted good, I knew the law. Main thing, I knew the sections when I was sending the notice. I knew there is a punishment of 2 years in check bouncing matters, which I mentioned in notice. And because of that, my client did not file the case. That is my senior's client, on whose behalf I had given notice, because she being not there at that time. So it has helped. So drafting is a major part you all can do. So I would request you to please go through all the judgments and also do the opponent lawyer's brief, because you never know from where you will learn. So this was all about drafting. Now we will go about for reading for Pradnya Kadam. Pradnya, are you ready? Pradnya, can you see the screen? प्रज्ञा, आप आपको अनम्यूट कर दीजिए प्लीज. Just a minute. Now, can you unmute yourself, Pradnya? Try.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So
am I audible?
You are audible, dear.
Shall I start, ma'am?
1 minute. I will start.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Just a minute. Is it mandatory to arraign firm as accused to make partner liable for dishonor of check under section 138, 141 NI? High Court explains. Now see here, Uttaranchal High Court का judgment है, Justice Alok Kumar Verma का, address a matter revolving around dishonor of check. See, the language used so nice. Address a matter revolving around dishonor of check. Appellate, that is complainant, preferred an appeal. Filed an appeal, preferred an appeal against the decision of the trial court, wherein the respondent accused was acquitted from the offence punished under section 130 of Negotiable Instrument Act. Now let's go to the facts. आप start कीजिए reading, Pradnya ji, from here.
Thank you, ma'am. Facts: accused had requested money for his business work from the complainant, stating that he will return the same as early as possible. An amount of rupees 19,45,000 was deposited from time to time through NEFT or RTGS, and rupees 55,000 through cash payment on credit. Further, a sum of rupees 1,90,000 was deposited by the complainant through Gopal Singh. In total, a sum of rupees 20 lakhs was given to the respondent on credit. On demanding the said amount, accused issued a check, but the same was dishonored by the bank with the note of exceed agreement. Legal notice was sent to the accused and served upon the accused on 17th November 2017. Further, since no payment was forthcoming pursuant to the said demand notice, a complaint case was filed against the accused under section 138 of the Negotiable Instrument Act 1881. In the cross-examination before the trial court, defense denied accused signature on the check. In the cross-examination of the complainant, the defense was that there was no transaction between the complainant and the accused, and all the transactions of the complainant were with his brother Mohan Prasad Purohit. And in the absence of his brother Mohan Prasad Purohit, the complainant had taken 7 checks from the shop of his brother. With respect to the check in question, which was dishonored. The defense was that the said check was amongst the 7 check which was misused by the complainant. Under Section 139 of Negotiable Instrument Act, once a check has been signed and issued in favor of the holder, there is a statutory presumption that it is issued in discharge of a legal enforceable date or liability. However, presumption is a rebuttable one. In Rangappa versus Sri Mohan 2010 11 Supreme Court case 441, Supreme Court has held that in view of Section 139, it has to be presumed that a check is issued in discharge of any date or other liability. Respondent accused denied signature on the said check and accused did not lead any evidence in support of his plea.
Just a minute.
Shall I read further?
Yes, please.
Okay. Mere statement of the accused may not be sufficient to rebut the presumption. Therefore, this court does not see any basis in the contention of the counsel for the respondent, that is, that the respondent accused has been successful in creating doubt in the mind of the court with regard to the existence of legally enforceable date or liability. Section 141 of the Act 1881 stipulates the liability of the offense punishable under Section 138 of the Act 1888 when the person committing such an offense happens to be a company, that is, when a drawer of the check happens to be a company for the purpose of Section 141 of the Act 1881. A firm comes within the ambit of a company. Supreme Court in the case of Anita Hadda versus Godfather Travels and Tours Private Limited 2012 5 Supreme Court case 661 considered the question whether an organized signatory of a company would be liable for prosecution under Section 138 of the Negotiable Instrument Act 1881 without the company being arraigned as an accused. In Himanshu versus D. Shivamurthy 2019 3 Supreme Court case 797, Supreme Court has held that in absence of the company being arraigned as an accused, prosecution of the director of the company for the check bounce under Section 138 of the Act 1881 was not maintainable. Hence, in view of the above decision of the Supreme Court bench expressed that if the check had been issued by the firm, which was subsequently dishonored, a partner of the firm would not be liable for prosecution under Section 138 of the Act 1881 without the firm being arraigned and as an accused. In the present complainant, the firm was not arraigned as an accused. Therefore, the appeal was liable to be dismissed.
Thank you so much, Pradnya. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
While Pradnya was reading, I have sent a judgment in the chat box, which is Anita Hada versus Godfather. Try Anita Hadakar. There are 2-3 judgments you may find. This is a very landmark judgment. Now, there may be some law changes in the law thereafter. There are judgments of the Supreme Court, which are in a different way for 138. But I would tell you, if you ever have to mastery 138 matters, Anita Hada versus Godfather Travels and Tours case is very important for all of you to read. And if you read this judgment, you will have half of the idea how check bouncing cases are to be fought in the court. Now, coming back to this judgment, as read by Pradnya, very well read Pradnya, is it mandatory to arraign firm as an accused to make partner liable for dishonor of check under section? I'm not discussing judgment here. I'm telling what you're getting from by reading the judgment. See, because of Pradnya, we 99 people have been benefited today. Now, is it mandatory to arraign firm as an accused? A firm मतलब एक partnership firm है तो उसको जो accused है उसको firm को भी लाना ही जरूरी है क्या? Dishonor of check. The word is arraign. Now they have section 138, 141, and when you read this is a small brief, case brief from the High Court on SCC web portal. Now here you see there are so many words here used. In the first para, I would request all of you to complaint preferred and appeal against the decision of the trial court when the respondent accused was acquitted. The words used, acquitted from the offense of punishable under section 138 of Negotiable Instrument Act. उसके बाद उन्होंने बोला facts. See how differently. This is drafting. Then again we go, mere statement of accused may not be sufficient to rebut the presumption. In 138, once you give the check, there is always a presumption that it is given for the liability. So mere statement of accused may not be sufficient to rebut the presumption. This is what everything says. तो आपको पूरा liability बताना पड़ेगा. Only statement से काम नहीं चलेगा. Now there section 141 is also mentioned in green notes, so it is very important. Now another case I saw here in Himanshu versus B. Shivamurthy. This is a recent case of 2019. Supreme Court held that in absence of company being arraigned as an accused, prosecution of director of the company for the check bounce under section 138 was not maintainable. देखिए, company को उन्होंने accused बनाया ही नहीं है. In the absence of company being arraigned as an accused. So this is also one very good thing. So if you read judgments, you will know that how to draft, what are the mistakes we should not make. So this is very small, brief, case brief, still to understand 138 check bouncing. And here two cases are mentioned. One is Anita Hada and another is Himanshu versus B. Shivamurthy. These are three cases and including this case is of Ramesh. If you can see the last line, Ramesh Nagarkoti versus Kedar Dutt Purohit. If you read these three judgments, which I will ask Anita or any of my juniors to put in your group. So if you read these three judgments, आपका जो 138 का जो material है, how to draft, what to get knowledge, it is more than enough for you. So what is more required here that you read it. This is what I would say. Now it's my turn to read. We'll go to another thing now. That is legal vocabulary. Is screen visible now to all of you? This is by Justice Geeta Mittal, and I am very fond of this lady judge. She recently retired from the Jammu and Kashmir High Court as a Chief Justice. And some of her judgments are really very good. She was at Delhi High Court. Now I'm trying to read one of this piece. Justice Geeta Mittal recently retired from judicial service as Chief Justice of Common High Court for Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. See, Jammu and Kashmir High Court also covers the Ladakh. Her tenure saw the launch of the several laudable initiatives at the High Court, including the Insaf Ki Dastak project. She has taken up a project at Jammu and Kashmir. वहाँ काफी स्नो पड़ती है, एरिया काफी एक्सेस नहीं होता है, तो उन्होंने एक प्रोजेक्ट लगाया था वहां पर एज अ चीफ जस्टिस, इंसाफ की दस्तक, inaugurated shortly before her retirement. Now here the word used is her tenure saw the launch of several laudable initiatives. Now when we say laudable initiative, it is appreciable. मतलब बहुत सारा अच्छा काम किया उन्होंने, appreciable. Through this project, judges will travel to far-flung areas, to far-flung areas which remain cut off due to harsh weather or difficult terrain, and decide cases at the people's doorstep. Now, terrain का मतलब ये होता है कि जब आपका जो area है वो ऊपर नीचे बहुत, see in Kashmir and Jammu and Kashmir, the land areas are very difficult also to travel, and there is no access completely. Those who stay in Maharashtra, Delhi, metropolitan cities, it is a different world altogether for Kashmir. And if you ever go to Kashmir, there is a snow, there is a areas where you can't even reach. So transport is not that good. So she has come out with a project of Insaf Ki Dastak where they were going to the far-flung areas and to the doorstep of the clients or doorstep of the litigants. Now, in this interview with Mohsin of Bar and Bench, Justice Mittal speaks on the Insaf Ki Dastak initiative, what inspired her to introduce this initiative and more. What is the Insaf Ki Dastak initiative? This is an unprecedented step, not only for Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. It has not happened anywhere else in the world. It is a step which is unique in itself. We have enabled the filing of cases by people using simple forms. They only need to fill a simple form which is available in English, Urdu and Hindi. People can fill it by themselves or take the help of paralegal volunteers. If this meeting ends, kindly rejoin by using the same link. I'm requesting all of you because we may be now outreaching this session. They will be able to communicate their grievances using the e-facilities in post offices or community service centers available in their localities. It can be done by fax or email. During COVID-19, we are seeing that people are even using WhatsApp to communicate with the court. The court will hear them using the e-facility, and the order which is passed by the court will be communicated in a like manner. To facilitate filing, we have a parallel court service center where e-communication and e-complaint will be received and put up before the judge for passing orders. So this is a unique step to assist people who cannot reach the court because of the climatic condition where there is 8 to 10 feet of snow and they cannot reach the nearest district court. This will help them